A little secret you should know about me is I love talking about players like Ethan Burke because a lot of people will not talk about players like Ethan Burke until they're making a play or until they're doing something that people will remember and people will talk about. Other than that, these are the type of players that usually don't get talked about, and that's okay with me. They are the guys that are usually rotational pieces that come in, really hold the team together, and just do the things that they are asked to do. I like Ethan Burke. For me, as a Texas fan, hook 'em, I was able to watch Ethan Burke play his entire career at the University of Texas. And the thing that I like about him is every single year he understood his assignment, he understood his role, and he just continued to make plays for this football team, and he continued to help this football team win games. One of the things I really like about him is he shows up in big time games. If you're going to show up in big time games, if you're going to make big time plays, I am going to be paying attention to you and I am going to take notice. So this video is all about Ethan Burke, all of the great things I think Ethan Burke will bring to any team in the NFL. And most importantly, I am giving some shine to a guy who probably wouldn't get a lot of shine, but not because he doesn't deserve it. Hi, this is Edit Me popping up to say, I forgot to mention that this is a series. So if this is the first video that you're watching of mine, there should be other videos. I will probably tag a video here that you can go watch so that you can find other episodes about other players that I'm really excited to see get drafted. That is what I'm here for, to give my thoughts about Ethan Burke heading into this 2026 NFL draft. There's a few things that got my attention about Ethan Burke, but what stands out to me, 2024 goal line stand against Texas A&M on the road. Ethan Burke comes in, basically ruins the play. Texas wins 17-7, I believe it was. And that was that goal line stand that we all know about and that we all love if you're Texas fans. That was Ethan Burke coming in and breaking up that play. From the end of 2024, I made it a point in my mission to really watch Ethan Burke this year. I wanted to see what he was going to do for this Texas team. I wanted to see how he was going to continue to help us. And most importantly, on a team that has a really good defense, I wanted to see how he was going to find ways to get on the football field. The ways that he found to get on the football field, special teams. Special teams is huge, especially when you make special teams plays. What does Ethan Burke do on special teams plays? Well, block field goals, very important. He also t-shirt tackles guys from scoring touchdowns. Ethan Burke is one of those players that when you're looking around and when you're like, who is going to step up and make a play? Who is going to be the reason why we go home and why we win this football game? It is going to be Ethan Burke. I still remember his blocked field goal against Mississippi State early in that game. Well, hello. If you think about it, double check and make sure that you hit that like button. Also double check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. There are a lot of people watching content that they're not yet subscribed to my channel. So double check and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And if you think about it, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Turn those notification bells on so you never miss a single video of my hair going everywhere. Shout out to Ethan Burke. Shout out to players like Ethan Burke that just show up and just do the things that you're supposed to do. Not problematic, just does the things that they are supposed to do. I love those type of players. One thing I know about Ethan Burke, he is going to be a reason why a team doesn't put points on the board, and he's going to give his team the ball back. I love players like that. Sign me up for that. Ethan Burke, unfortunately, didn't get invited to the NFL Combine, and that is okay because all you need in the NFL is one shot. All you need is one team at one point to say your name or to have you come into their training camp, and you are right where you're supposed to be. However, that doesn't stop me from having some information here about Ethan Burke because that is what I do. I go find information to present it. Shout out to the Austin American-Statesman for having this info for me as clean and pristine as I need it so I can show it to you on the screen. So as you can see here in the 2026 Pro Day, because he wasn't invited to the Combine, edge rusher Ethan Burke measured at 6'6", 267 pounds, showcase his size after being snubbed from the NFL Combine. You can see his information there. You can see all the things that he's done. The one thing I want to bring to your attention is that he is 6'6", and that he can move and that he's agile. One of my favorite things about Ethan Burke is obviously size, because we all know size matters at this point, right? When you play football. The big risk with Ethan Burke is a lot of people just don't know him. A lot of people, he's not going to necessarily pop off the screen with his athleticism. He's not going to just show up to you and you're going to look and you're going to go, he needs to be in the NFL. I need him on my team. However, what he is going to do is he is going to show up and he is going to make plays for your football team. If you need a player to make plays for your football team, why not Ethan Burke? The other risk for Ethan Burke might be that he wasn't a starter on this Texas defense, and I'm okay with that. Anytime you have a team that's really competitive and really good and really talented, it's not always about who starts. It is about who is able to make plays, because your ability to make plays is what's going to keep you out in the field. So a lot of people will see the fact that he wasn't a starter at Texas and will see that as a risk. A lot of people will see that he didn't pop on screen and they'll see that as a risk as well. However, I don't really see that as a risk, but I know how this game goes. So that is why I needed to say it here in the risk section. My final verdict on Ethan Burke: if he hits, when he hits, he's going to hit. And whatever team he's on is going to enjoy having Ethan Burke on their football team. Last year, Sorrell was my hit from Texas that I was like, you know what? He doesn't really do anything that's flashy. He's just going to work hard. He's going to make your team. He's going to make plays. That is Ethan Burke. He is going to find the football and he's going to give his team the football back. That is important to me. It is also important that he continues to show up on special teams. He continues to block field goals. That is super important to me. The other thing he did really well for Texas is he was able to come in and stop the run. Anybody that can come in and help my team stop the run is always going to get a gold star, because that's how important that is to me when I'm watching a defender. The other thing about Ethan Burke is he's played high-level competition, and he is going to make some team very happy. He just needs an opportunity to do that, and he needs the chance to show what he can do, because I think he's one of those players that can make an impact. So whether he's making an impact on your defense immediately, whether he's making an impact on your special teams immediately, whatever Ethan Burke is going to do for your football team, even if it's off the field, if it's being a good teammate, if it's showing up to practice on time, if it's pushing the other guys around him, he knows how to set back and not be a starter but still make an impact. He also knows how to stay ready so he doesn't have to get ready. The other thing is too, as a Texas fan, I'm going to miss Ethan Burke out there. I'm going to miss seeing him on the field. I am going to miss him being a component on this defense, because I've gotten so used to just seeing him out there and showing up and making plays in different situations. So if you're looking for a guy who has a knack for finding the football, if you're looking for a guy who has a knack on just like making plays, if you're looking for a guy who's just going to show up in big moments when you need him, somebody needs to get Ethan Burke, because he just might be a steal of this draft, and I'm just going to stand on that silently and see what happens. Honestly, I really like Ethan Burke. I don't know if he'll get drafted. If he does get drafted, if he goes into a good system, he is going to make plays for his NFL team. You can bet money on that one. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I'll see you in my next video.